Right now in Jamaica News Page tonight, we're following several developing stories. A grim discovery in Clarendon. Two missing men are found dead inside this burned vehicle in Cruz. We're tracking the latest developments. Also developing tonight, Operation Reset intensifies. One man is killed in an alleged confrontation with police, two robbery suspects are arrested, firearms are seized, and 9 people are charged as law enforcement ramps up its crackdown across St. Elizabeth and Manchester. Then a health alert.
So health officials today are trying to figure out what's behind a surge in that parasitic illness we've been telling you about, the one that's making people super sick.
A foodborne parasite sickening hundreds is now under investigation in nearly 30 US states. We'll explain the symptoms, what foods may be linked to the outbreak, and how you can protect yourself. Plus, there's good news tonight. After months of sleeping in a rocking chair following Hurricane Melissa, there's hope at last. This woman from St. Elizabeth finally receives the help she's been waiting for.
Surprise!
You call and I come.
Right?
And I'm hoping that we can really get your matter dealt with and all of the persons who you will help me to help.
Thank you, sir, so much.
We need more.
Welcome back to Jamaica News Page tonight. News that keeps you connected to what's happening across Jamaica, and we're powered by viewers just like you. Please click subscribe and tap the notification bell to stay connected. Thank you for joining us. Candy's Booth. Jamaica News Page tonight starts right now. We begin tonight in Clarendon, where police are investigating the deaths of 2 men whose charred remains were discovered inside this grey Nissan caravan in Bullhead, Crofts Hill, in the parish Saturday morning. The victims have so far been identified only by their aliases Daniel and Bob Six, both of whom had previously been reported missing. Members of the Clarendon Criminal Investigations Branch are now working to determine how the men died and what led to the vehicle being set ablaze. Anyone with information is being urged to contact the Clarendon Criminal Investigations Branch at 876-832-2077, Police Emergency 119, Crime Stop at 311, or the nearest police station. Meanwhile, police in St. Elizabeth are asking for your help to identify this man who allegedly broke into a restaurant in Santa Cruz. The incident happened on Friday, July 10, 2026, at Cherry's Dining Restaurant located across from the St. Elizabeth Technical High School. This video shows the suspect searching through several boxes before moving throughout the establishment. Moments later, he's also seen opening and searching the restaurant's refrigerator. Investigators have not yet confirmed whether anything was stolen. Police are urging anyone who recognizes the man or has information about the break-in to contact the Santa Cruz Police Station at 876-966-2289, Police Emergency 119, Crime Stop at 311, or the nearest police station. Also developing tonight, police say 1 man is dead and several others are now in custody as Operation Reset continues targeting criminal activity across St. Elizabeth. According to police, members of the security forces responded to reports of a break-in at this mini-mart in Ballard's Valley near Junction shortly after 3 o'clock Saturday morning. Police say 4 armed men allegedly confronted the lawmen, triggering an exchange of gunfire. One of the men was shot during the confrontation and later pronounced dead at the Black River Hospital. The remaining suspects escaped, and a manhunt is now underway. In separate operations carried out over the past several hours, officers seized 2 firearms in Oxford and Burnt Savannah following intelligence-led searches. They also arrested 2 men believed to be linked to multiple break-ins and robberies committed across the parish. Police say Operation Reset remains active as they intensify efforts to disrupt criminal networks throughout the area. Meanwhile, Operation Reset is also yielding major results in neighboring Manchester. Police say 9 people have now been charged following coordinated operations across Mandeville and Porus on Friday. 8 of those individuals face charges under the law reform, that's the Fraudulent Convergence Special Provisions Act, while another person has been charged under the Dangerous Drugs Act. Officers also recovered a loaded 9mm pistol containing 7 rounds after it was found inside an abandoned building in Scotttown, Greenville. The operation targeted multiple communities throughout the day as officers searched properties believed to be connected to lottery scamming and other criminal activities. Operations Officer Deputy Superintendent Valdin Amos says criminals should not believe gated communities will shield them from law enforcement. He says police are determined to track down offenders regardless of where they choose to hide. The crackdown follows concerns raised by Manchester police leadership that lottery scammers have increasingly moved into communities once considered peaceful. Police say the operations will continue. And now to a health alert in the United States, where officials are investigating a growing outbreak of cyclosporiasis. This is a parasitic illness that can cause severe and persistent diarrhea that's being called an explosive diarrhea. Authorities say potential cases are now being investigated in at least 29 states, with Michigan reporting nearly 1,000 illnesses and dozens of hospitalizations.
So health officials today are trying to figure out what's behind a surge in that parasitic illness we've been telling you about, the one that's making people super sick with the explosive diarrhea, with the fatigue, with the bloating. Now, health officials think this could all be caused by contaminated produce. They've seen outbreaks before linked to things like raspberries, basil, those pre-chopped bags of mixed lettuce at the grocery store. This thing shows no sign of slowing down with this spread, right? More than 1,200 cases across a dozen states right now. By the way, in Michigan alone, 700. Yikes. Normally, Michigan, in a typical year, sees about 50 cases. So this is way up. Dr. Kavita Patel joins us now. Why is it way up? What's going on here?
Yeah, Hallie, a couple of things are happening. It's warm weather, and that's definitely a source of cyclospora, which is causing this illness, is a single cell parasite that just loves this type of weather. On top of that, we've seen record cases because doctors are looking for it. You mentioned that the symptoms are pretty typical of like what we would say is explosive diarrhea. That tends to lead people to come into a doctor's office. But once we know that this is happening, we start to try to track this down, and thus we find even more cases. It has to do with contaminated water, with human feces, getting into that produce, covering low-lying fruits and vegetables, typically cilantro, basil, mixed lettuce, as you mentioned. Those are things that I would warn people. You don't need to avoid, but you need to be very careful in washing those items. And something that we don't talk about enough, open water sources, ponds, lakes. It's summer, so we're in a lot of those settings, and that's contributing to the rise too, Hallie.
Do they know specifically, like we're showing different produce, people know to wash their produce. They haven't identified specifically what could be linked to this particular outbreak, right?
No, and it's hard because the incubation period is about 1 to 2 weeks. So that can be a long period of time. Imagine talking to a patient who's got this diarrheal episode, and then you say, Hallie, what have you eaten over the last 2 weeks? It's hard to get an accurate count. And then think about a single bag of salad that I use all the time. That thing gets sourced from anywhere from 3 to 5 different farms. So identifying and pinpointing this is possible, but it takes time, and we will see more cases in the meantime.
So what are you supposed to do? Like what? Just cross your fingers?
So here's the good news. You can be careful. You don't need to be scared. And don't worry. There is an antibiotic that can treat this. So the key is that if you have these symptoms, present to your doctor. Usually people tell me that they've had diarrhea that just goes on and on for days. It's not self-limited. And that's when we know that we should probably treat this. But what I would do to prevent even getting that diarrheal illness, clean those vegetables that we showed you, especially those berries, raspberries. It can get hard to get in those crevices, basil, those small leaves. Wash those very thoroughly. If you see a bag that says it's been triple washed, it might sound smart to wash it again, but Hallie, believe it or not, that can actually get contamination. So don't rewash things that say they're triple washed. And then in the end, if you've got refrigerated, if you can, refrigerate it. That's the theme here. If you've got cut cucumbers, cut produce, refrigerate it as soon as possible, because this parasite does not like to have that cold environment.
All right. Good tips, Dr. Kavita Patel. Thank you, as always.
And Back here in Jamaica, some good news for parents. Student athletes across Jamaica are once again being invited to apply for the Pocket Rocket Foundation Scholarship Program. Founder and chairwoman Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce says the initiative is aimed at helping talented young athletes remain focused on both their education and the sports they love. The scholarship is open to high school students from grades 8 through 6th form who represent their school in at least one sporting discipline. Applicants must maintain satisfactory academic performance, good conduct, regular attendance, and active participation in school life. Since the program began in 2013, the foundation says it has awarded more than 113 scholarships to students from over 20 high schools across 14 sporting disciplines. Applications opened on July 1, 2026 and will close on August 15, 2026. Interested students can apply through the Pocket Rocket Foundation's online application portal at pocketrocketfoundation.org. And finally tonight, there's more good news. After months of hardship, help is finally arriving for St. Elizabeth woman after sharing her story on Nationwide News Network. For the past 8 months, Marlene Campbell has been sleeping in a rocking chair inside the bathroom of her roofless home after Hurricane Melissa destroyed the property in October 2025.
The window to the veranda just clipped out. When I started to run a tarpaulin across the window, the entire roofing of the house was gone. And all I could do at the time is just grab my phone, grab a bag that had my mother's things in it that we're supposed to bury her in, and I run into the wardrobe, and that's where I stayed for the entire day of the hurricane. My mother had a rocking chair in her house, and I picked up the chair and carried it into the bathroom. Mahiri, that is what I've been sleeping in from the Tuesday night of the hurricane. Until today, I have not been able to lie down on a bed or put my head on a pillow from that evening. Hi, everyone who's watching this channel. By now you're supposed to know my name, Marlene Campbell. I'm the young lady who actually went on Nationwide and actually has been complaining about my situation here in Springfield. I am from Springfield, born in Springfield, grew here, and still living here. And the Hurricane Melissa came in and totally destroyed my house. Government came in and offered help, and up to this day, nothing. So I had to call the radio station, and I did an interview, and I must say I'm very impressed. Nationwide did an excellent job, and it went out into despair, and the minister stepped in immediately. I'm very impressed with Minister Charles. He stepped in immediately. He called me immediately, and he was on top of things immediately. Today, he came into Springfield, and he's now reorganizing and trying to fix all the glitches and the problems that had occurred to stop the flow of money that was supposed to come into us. So I'm here to say today that I'm very impressed with the minister. Minister Charles is doing an excellent job. He is on top of things, and he is listening to the people. He's hearing the voice of the people. He's hearing the cry of the people, and he is on top of his job. So I'm here to just clear up everything today to say, Minister Charles, job well done. You have started back the process, and I'm hoping that from today, everyone that has not been given what they're supposed to get will get what they're supposed to get from today, because it was promised to them, and that we should be supposed to be taken care of, because we were promised that we were going to be taken care of by the government. Surprise!
You call and I come.
Right?
That's it. And I'm hoping that we can really get your matter dealt with, and all of the persons who you will help me to help.
Thank you, sir, so much.
We need more. Listen, we
really appreciate this, Minister. Really.
You know, when you think of the Jamaican spirit, people will speak up.
Yes, sir.
And when you speak up, You speak up on behalf of yourself. And the people must know that when you spoke to me, you talk about other people.
From your speed, boy, you move so.
That is it.
I love the way
you have been moving at 2026.
Look at our minister movement.
2026.
Love it, I love it. Yes, technology. Yes, I love it.
So let's get to it.
There seems to be renewed hope here, and we're rooting for you, Marlene. We also want to commend the Minister Pernell Charles Jr. and everyone involved for stepping up. We wish you the very best as you begin rebuilding your home and your life. And that's the news. On Jamaica News Page tonight, news that keeps you connected to what's happening across Jamaica, and we're powered by viewers just like you. Please leave a comment so we can welcome you with a shout out. Thank you for joining us, Candy's Booth, and also thank you for watching Jamaica News Page tonight. We'll see you in the comments, and be sure to like, share, and join us again for more news. From all of us here, good night.